This is a lesson on how to build a piece of clip art. We're going to want this particular piece of clip art to look like a smartphone. So we're going to use PowerPoint for this. And the first thing you should do is probably turn your page on its side. So I'm going to go to Design here and Slide Size, Custom Slide, and ask for Portrait. And just ask for regular letter paper. Okay, maximize, make that as small as you can. Get rid of your placeholders by clicking on the side. And now we may begin. So you'll probably want to start with a rounded rectangle, as most smartphones look something like this, and make it nice and big, take up most of your page, and we're going to zoom in and zoom out as we need. All right? Doesn't matter if it's centered on your page. And then from here, you'll probably just want to click this one, the top one. Or, wait a minute, that wasn't the top one. Okay, so you do that. You're going to want to leave this transparent so that we can actually draw some things in it. So I'm going to want no fill, all right? So worry about the color of the phone when you're absolutely totally done. And then we're going to be using things like shapes and arrange and other things. So I'm going to go to Insert right away. And we've also got something called Word Art that you can use. And with Word Art, you can type the type of phone that you have and then try to match up the font. And then, so it's much, much smaller than that. So I'm going to make this about the size that it appears on my phone. Really good idea to have a phone in front of you when you're doing this exercise, of course. And on the phone, because the background of my phone is going to be dark, I'm actually going to want that to be light. So later on, I'm going to make that lighter. But I don't want to make my phone dark right now. I want no fill right now. So, and then I'm going to want that centered on my phone. All right, so now the fun part, getting into the actual icon. So I want it to look like your phone is on, and I want to be able to see the different apps that you have on your phone. Now, I realize you don't have a Nokia, you probably have an iPhone or something. So your job now is to create the icons, the buttons that go on your phone. And this could take quite a bit of time, all right? So we're going to start by probably putting in some shapes. And again, a lot of the icons look like little rectangles. So once you have a rectangle, you'll want them all to be the same size, right? So on my phone, they look about like this, but I've only got 2 rows of them. Some of you have more. So I want this to be a perfect square. So 2 by 3, 2 by 7 by 2 by 7. And that's too big. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to put another one here. Okay, and they're lined up. And then I'm going to want 2 more. And then I'm going to want 2 more. And the way my phone is I scroll down to see more. So I'm just selecting all these, moving them up. They got to all fit, right? And then it's a matter of designing and building this so that it looks right. Again, I'm going to want that style. So I'm just hitting F4 here. And now I can start working on the design of my individual icons of my buttons. Now, you're quite likely going to be using a combination of things here. We already know that we can use Word Art and move it about. We can use shapes as well. But you can also use symbols. Little complex here. We're not going to be able to just type in the symbols. We're going to need to put them in a text box or in another shape. So let me just set this up. So I would likely start by putting yet another shape in there. So I'm going to ask for another rectangle. And I'm going to put it in. Because I want to be able to put symbols in here. Symbols. And the only way I can do that is by putting it in a shape. I don't want to put it in the main shape. It gets too complicated. So I put another shape in there. And again, I'm going to ask for no fill. And I can just leave a dark outline for now. But I'm going to get rid of that outline eventually. So by right-clicking on here, I can ask to edit text. So I can type things in here. Now, you might want to type some stuff, but typically, you're going to want to insert symbols in here. So because in symbols you got so many pre-built choices, right? So I have Hotmail on my phone, so I want it looks kind of like this. I'm going to insert that and then close, and there we go, right? So I got that little symbol in there, but it's like a letter, right? So I can grow it a little bit, quite a bit, and then I can change the outline color of that as well. So mine looks kind of red, and I'm just going to see if I can bring that up a little bit. No, I can't bring that up, so it's going to stay there. But down a little bit lower, I have the word Hotmail, right? So I would want to insert that as word art. So I'm just going to type Hotmail. And then, of course, you would size it, and you would use whatever color and font. Try to match everything up as much as you possibly can. I want this to look like your actual phone. So mine's down in the bottom here, like that, and this border doesn't show. So I want to get rid of this border, so I'm going to go back to Format, and I'm going to ask for No Outline. So one of my buttons, very simple looking, I know, it's a real easy one, but combination of the symbol and the word, and that covers that. And then I have another one with a phone symbol, right? So again, I'm going to insert a shape, right? I'm going to do another one of these, just to give me somewhere to put symbols in. That's the only reason I'm doing that. And then we're going to go no fill, and I'll get rid of the outline again later. So I'm right-clicking, and I'm asking to edit text. And then I'm inserting symbols. And there are so many symbols to choose from. I don't want this to take forever, maybe 2 periods, but take a look at some of the symbols you have available. There are some here, and there are some in Wingdings now, but you've also got Webdings. You've got all kinds of symbols to choose from. You can take forever to do this exercise. I don't want you to, but so there's a phone symbol that I have on mine, so I'm going to put that. And of course, this is like it's a symbol, right, which means it's like text. So if you want to grow it, you just select it and you put it there. And I'm just going to keep looking at my phone here, and it's got the name of my service provider down here. Okay, so let's say your service provider, if my service provider was TELUS, I basically want another one of these down here. So I'm just copying this one over rather than start it all over, right? And then I can just type TELUS down here. And then, again, I'm going to want this outline not to show. So when you're done with it, make sure that you fix it all up. So I'm going to go back to Format and Outline and No Outline. Now, some of your phones are quite a bit more complicated. Some of your icons get to be really fancy and have all kinds of neat things on them. So take the time to make it look as close as the real thing, as you possibly can, and make sure all your things are aligned. The more detail, the better. Remember, you've got 2 full periods to do this, so be careful how much detail you choose, because you want to be able to finish in time. So, and when you're done, of course, this is all going on your website, so I'm going to want you to select everything and group it, right? And then you're going to right-click, and you're going to save it as a picture, and then that goes on your website. As you're working on this, save every 5 minutes as cell phone. And that is how we're going to build a cell phone using Microsoft PowerPoint and using our drawing tools.